What's going on, everybody? This is your WOF Outlook and Discussion for Thursday, May 18th, 2023. And before we get into today's video, I hope everyone is doing well, remaining positive, and as always, staying blessed. All right, you guys, taking a look here at the tropics this morning. As usual, for the beginning of the year, you guys, dry air and shear is usually the name of the game, ruling the game here. So no tropical development is expected during the next 7 days. As you can see, look at all the dry air that is across the Gulf of Mexico, Caribbean, and even the Southwest Atlantic. And look at the strong Southwest shear. Nothing is going to get going with this type of setup here, you guys. Look at the big upper level low here off of the southern coast here of California, the Baja of California here, funneling in moisture here. That's causing shear in the eastern Pacific. Nothing is going to happen there. Deep tropical Atlantic shut down and quiet, you guys. Look at all this dry air. Nothing to be concerned about. We will be watching here off the Carolinas, you guys, later on today and tomorrow as an area of low pressure will form here. But we will see how this system is going to evolve. As of right now, I do not believe tropical development will be likely with this system, but we will be watching the trends here just in case something does try to pop up. So if you guys haven't done so already, be sure to subscribe here at your Weather on the Fly so you can stay up to date and weather aware this hurricane season. And as this severe weather continues to unfold here across the United States, you will not miss a beat when it comes to updates, you guys. Now, as we pause this here, we'll take a quick 10-second intermission, you guys. I'm going to get these surface plots off so we can get into today's video. Take the temperatures off. All right, let me take the extended off. All right, as you can see, you guys, and we do have a heavy rainfall advisory in effect for parts of South Carolina and eastern Georgia here. So we will be on the lookout for some possible isolated flash flooding here as we go through the remainder of the morning, you guys. So be on the lookout if you stay in that area. But as we take that off and we go to convective outlook day one, all right, you guys, let's see if it's going to load. All right, here we go. You can see we have a general thunderstorm risk pretty much yet again across the Pacific Northwest, the western United States, extending into parts of the central United States, on up into look here across parts of Wisconsin, you guys. We will have a marginal risk here for severe weather extending into parts of northeast Iowa. We will have another marginal risk here across parts of Alabama, north central Alabama, extending into extreme south central Tennessee. And the Storm Prediction Center does have a marginal risk here from parts of Colorado, southeast Colorado, down into parts of West Texas. But we do have a small little slight risk that does include the Texas Panhandle and parts of extreme western Oklahoma here. Amarillo is in this, Canadian, Elk City, Memphis, Tennessee, Dumas, Tennessee. All these areas, I say Dumas, Tennessee, you guys. Memphis, Texas. That's what I'm thinking about. Memphis, Tennessee, you guys. Memphis, Texas. Amarillo, Wilmington, you guys. All these areas will be shamrocks. And it's a lot more. There it goes, you guys. The Memphis, Texas, you guys. It's going to be under a slight risk here. Now, as we check the probability to see just how these storms are going to possibly materialize throughout the day, you guys, check the tornado probability. You can see we have a 2% chance here of a possible spin up across parts of the Texas Panhandle into west central Oklahoma here, you guys, and also a 2% chance possibly up here near Wisconsin and extreme southeast Minnesota, you guys. So even up far up north, we will be on the lookout for a few spin ups here. Hail pushing 1 to 1.5 inch in diameter. That will be possible here up across the north here, Wisconsin area, and also across southeast Colorado, extending into West Texas here. We do have that 5% chance with that 15% chance of 1 to 1.5 inch diameter hail across parts of the Texas Panhandle. As we go on to the wind probability, same as hell, 5% chance of winds pushing 55 to 60, gusting to 70 here up across Wisconsin. And down along the marginal risk here, 5% with a 15% chance and a slight risk across the southern plains here, you guys, for winds pushing 55 to 60, gusting to 70. No significant tornado, hail, or wind, so that is good news, you guys. Now we're going to pull up the HRRR to see just how these storms are going to materialize as we move on through today. And you guys, we always start here at 12 o'clock at your weather on the fly. All right, we're going to zoom out since we have quite a few regions to look at here, you guys. And at around the noon time, you can see here South Carolina, heavy showers and thunderstorms. That's cluster of showers and thunderstorms that's there now. Probably going to continue to increase in coverage as the day progresses. So we'll be on the lookout for some heavy rain. Other than that, here across parts of extreme northern I'm about to say Montana, you guys. Minnesota here, we have some possibly some showers, maybe a rumble of thunder around the noon hour, but not much going on. As we move on to 4 o'clock in the afternoon, you guys, let's see. You can see, all right, intent and coverage and intensity is starting to increase here. Look at all the showers starting to pop up across the western United States, the Rockies here around the Denver area. Look across the southern U.S., Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama. Even in that marginal risk in north central Alabama, we do have cells starting to pop up. Some damaging winds and isolated hail will be possible. Some heavy rains could still be going on for South Carolina and parts of Georgia here, southeast Georgia, even extending into Florida here. We will have the daytime, afternoon pop-up showers. Look across the northern part of the United States here across Wisconsin, that marginal risk. Look at this line of storms. We'll be capable of producing all hazards up here, even a quick spin up of a tornado, you guys. We move on to 8 p.m. As we're getting into the evening hours, you can see, look at this cluster, this line of storms starts to continue to move on out of central Wisconsin to eastern Wisconsin, you guys, with some heavy rain. Look here across parts of the Texas Panhandle. These cells are starting to pop here. All hazards will be possible as we go into the evening hours. Look here across eastern Colorado. This heavy rainfall that could be ongoing, starting to move into Kansas here, even across parts of West Texas. Down here, you can see we have a cluster of showers and thunderstorms, even extending into parts of central and northeast Kansas into Iowa here this evening. We could have some showers and thunderstorms. Look here across parts of Alabama. There's still this strong little cluster here that could still be ongoing, producing some isolated damaging winds and hail there, you guys. Across parts of the South Carolina, Georgia coast, Florida peninsula, East Coast here, we will have some showers and thunderstorms. We move on to the overnight hours, about 2 a.m., you guys. You can see here, look across parts of the Oklahoma panhandle, west central Oklahoma here, you guys. Heavy rainfall. We'll be on the lookout for some flooding here, you guys, possibly during the overnight hours, extending on up into parts of western Kansas, even southern Nebraska here could have some isolated showers, rumbles of thunder going on throughout the overnight hours, even across parts of northern Minnesota, Wisconsin, starting the inner parts of northern Illinois, could still see some showers with a rumble of thunder going on during the overnight hours. This activity starts to push off of South Carolina and the Georgia coast as we go through the overnight. Now this leads us into convective outlook day 2, you guys, where we do have a much broader slight risk area of severe weather, which does include the Dallas-Fort Worth area, the Memphis area, extending on down Abilene, Waco, Round Rock, San Antonio, Shreveport, Greenville, Durant. All these areas, Texarkana, all these areas are under a slight risk of severe weather for tomorrow. Midland is under a marginal risk, you guys. That marginal risk extends almost just about as far east as Nashville and as far west as parts of New Mexico, you guys. We'll be on the lookout for some severe weather. As we check the probabilities here, tornadoes, a 2% chance here across parts of east central Texas, extending into southern and south central Arkansas, extreme northwest Louisiana here, you guys. We'll be on the lookout for a spin up of a tornado or two for tomorrow. Hail probability, a large 15% swath encompasses that slight risk, which could see hail on the size of 1 to 1.5 inch in diameter. As we move to the wind probability, they're the same. A 15% encompasses that slight risk for winds 55 to 60, maybe gusting to 70. No significant tornadoes, no significant hail, no significant wind is expected at this time. That is always good news, you guys. So as we continue the HRRR out, you can see as early as 7 in the morning, this cluster of showers and rumbles of thunders here across eastern Oklahoma will be starting to move into Arkansas. We will have some showers, maybe rumbles of thunders near Chicago early in the morning tomorrow, and maybe some showers starting to form again here along the coastal Carolinas. As we move on to 12 o'clock tomorrow, you guys. All right, you can see here not much going on across the slight ridge yet. Maybe there's some showers here across Arkansas, leftover showers from that morning cluster. But here across parts of Illinois, Missouri, Kansas, have some showers, maybe rumbles of thunder extending on in through parts of northern Indiana and then now into parts of Michigan here. We have to be on the lookout. Look here across parts of coastal North Carolina with that possible low pressure developing there tomorrow, you guys. We will be on the lookout to see how that continues to mature, you guys. And as we go on to 4 o'clock, all right, let's see how this loads. You can see here we had that rain off the Carolina, off of North Carolina with that possible coastal low developing. Look at the clusters here starting to develop across parts of North Texas, Southeast Oklahoma, getting into western Arkansas. All hazards will be possible with these cells as early as 4 p.m. tomorrow, you guys. And look at the heavy showers and thunderstorms that could be possibly ongoing from south central Missouri up through southern Illinois, central Indiana here. Showers with some isolated rumbles of thunder will be possible. We go to about 8 p.m., you guys, tomorrow evening and look at across parts of central Arkansas, getting into the Arklatex, and then extending on into parts of north central Texas, getting even into parts of West Texas, New Mexico. Look at these cells here that will be capable of producing all hazards, you guys, here. So we will be definitely on the lookout for tomorrow. And as we continue on throughout tomorrow evening, this line of storms continues to push on through Ohio, starting to getting into parts of western New York and Pennsylvania here. And this low pressure area off the coastal Carolinas will continue to move on out to the northeast as we go as far as the HRRR takes us out, which will be 1 a.m. Friday morning, you guys, or is that Saturday? I'm probably mixing up my dates. All right, you guys, I was. This will be 1 a.m. Saturday, you guys. You can see across parts of central Texas, some showers, maybe a heavy rumble of thunder or two will be possible here, extending on into parts of northern Louisiana, Mississippi, around the Memphis area, extending on into Nashville overnight Friday into Saturday. And then that heavy rains and showers could continue to extend on up into Kentucky, Ohio, and as I said, getting into parts of western New York and Pennsylvania as we move into the overnight on Friday going into Saturday. Now, before we go, you guys, I want to take this off of here and we're going to quickly look at our temperature forecast for at least the next 2 days, you guys. I like to just go out the next 2 days. We're going to check out the temperatures. Let's see, pull this up. We're going to start today at about 4 p.m. Let's see if I can get it. All right, you guys. And as you can see here, about time everyone's going to possibly on their way home, rush hour coming back home, you can see here we're going to be baking across Texas, Louisiana, the Gulf Coast, down into Florida. We will have these 80s with 90s here possibly embedded. Look here across parts of California and the desert Southwest. It's going to be very hot here, you guys. So we'll be on the lookout. 80s and 90s will be in store. Not too hot here across the northeast here, so very good news. We not very seems very comfortable here along the eastern seaboard to me, looking at these 60s and 70s. We have some mid 70s as we get into parts of the middle of the country here. Not too bad, not too bad at all. Here, you guys, in the Pacific Northwest, starting to cool down a little bit, but hey, you guys, still quite warm up there for this time of the year. Now, as we move on to 7 a.m. tomorrow, you guys, on the 19th, for Friday morning, as you're going to be getting up, starting your day, you guys, you can see here across parts of the Northeast, it's going to be pretty cool here. Have some 40s, 50s here, extending all the way down into parts of the Carolinas. Starting out with 60s across Texas and the Gulf Coast here along the Gulf Coast, we'll have 70s, you guys. Look here across parts of Minnesota, the coldest here. It's going to be still winter-like with some 30s and 40s across parts of the northern tier of the United States. And as we move on to 4 p.m. tomorrow, you guys, as you're heading home, you can see here it's going to warm up quite nicely. We're going to be baking here across parts of Texas and Louisiana with these 80s and 90s here that extends even here across parts of the Florida's peninsula. You have the 70s here along the southeast United States, 60s as you get into parts of the northeastern United States. Still a little cool wedge here across parts of Wisconsin and Minnesota for tomorrow afternoon, you guys. But as you can see, it's going to warm up generally quite nicely here. We're going to even have some, it's going to be baking across Southern California here and parts of Arizona again, you guys, tomorrow with these 90s here. But other than that, it looks pretty comfortable to me. I'm not sure about how everybody else and how the temperatures feel with you guys, but I can deal with this here, you guys. But the heat across New Orleans, it really gets intense at times, you guys. But I can say if it was in the mid 70s, even the upper 60s, I would love that type of weather, you guys. If it could just be like that year round with some low humidity, but that'd be asking for just too much here across parts of New Orleans, you guys. But that's going to be it for this one. If you haven't done so already, be sure to share, like, and subscribe so you can stay up to date and weather aware. And I'll talk to you guys all in the next one.